Hello everyone, how are you today? It's Kay. So this is the 28th of November and Sunday. So today I will cover the Forex pairs and gold, WTI oil, and indices in the news for next week. So we have many topics to cover. So let's go over one by one. But I hope you're having a great weekend right now and get ready to take trades for next week. Okay, so let me squeeze my face and start the session right now. And just a quick disclaimer, this information is based on my own experience knowledge. So when you take trades, please do with your risk management. And also, since this is a live stream, if you can please follow the rules and guidelines, that would be great. Because after all here to learn. Okay, so let me quickly say hi to everyone. Let's see, Jalaj, Eagle, Ivan, and Krongwat, and James, Newbie, and Vipin, Bruce. Good to see you, Gary and Zaki, Kishore, and Won, Muhammad, and Rajko. Good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Oh, let me quickly get ready to start. Okay, all right, so let me switch to the trading view and start the session now. So first, I will cover the Forex pairs. And since this is towards the end of the month, today, let me cover the monthly and also the weekly time frame on the Forex pairs and other markets. Because what I usually do is every day, during the week, I screen the daily chart because these are the timings where daily time frame, daily candles are closing. But on the weekends, I watch the weekly chart. On the month end, I watch the monthly chart just to see the bigger picture and see which way the market is moving in higher time frames, so that within the month, within the week, we expect the market go towards monthly or weekly directions. So time flies. This is already the end of November and we are towards the year end. So let me turn to the monthly chart and screen chart first. So this is Euro USD, and Euro USD monthly is now ranging. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, the market below the Kumo, but this is ranging. So from here, we can't say which way it's going. But if you look at the weekly chart, this is now bearish. So I will mark this one as purple since this is bearish on the weekly. So next week, we could see continuous downtrend. The Kumo down, Tenko span B down, A down, and Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen both moving down, and Chikou span below the candles. So if I start to see bearish trend next week, then I will look for the selling edge. So that's Euro USD. And since we have the big news about what's happening in South Africa, originally from South Africa and spreading worldwide on this Omicron, the market was crashing on last Friday, and we have many crash also in the stock market indices. So basically, I trade by Ichimoku and I don't trade by the news, but it's good to know the news can affect the market so heavily in one day, spikes up and down. So that's why I mentioned always you have to have the decent risk management. Otherwise, when this kind of news happens, you will lose the account so easily, and you can't keep surviving the market in this way. So yeah, so that's very, very big news actually. So we have to keep watching the news and see what happens. If it spreads, if it keeps spreading worldwide, then these markets can be bearish. The USD can be bearish, and indices can be bearish. Gold could be bold, and JPY pairs could be bold also. So we have to be watching the news also. All right, I do see more people coming here. Thank you for joining, everyone. So let me cover these pairs first. So since today's monthly, the month end, I am explaining both the monthly and weekly charts on these pairs. So here is Euro AUD, and monthly chart shows that this is flat ranging, the Kumo flat. The market is within the Kumo now, so there is no direction. We have this engulfing candle. This is the inside bar. So in theory, you have to wait for the breakout towards either direction. But this is monthly, and it may take a longer time, more time for the breakouts to happen. So now let's move on to the weekly time frame. And weekly shows that this is also flat. Last week was huge bullishness, but at the Kumo flat, the market is within the Kumo now. So in the lower time frames, it could be spiky. So we have to be careful. Right now, it's uptrending in the lower time frames, but the market can retrace backwards anytime soon. So in terms of lower time frames, I will talk about it during the week. So let's continue to discuss next week. So next one is Euro Pound. Euro Pound monthly chart is exactly within the Kumo now, so this is ranging. And as per weekly chart, this is bearish now. The Kumo down, Kijun Sen is flat, Tenkan Sen flat, but Chikou span below the candles and the markets below the Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen. So this is bearish. So last week was bullish due to that news, but overall it's still bearish on the weekly chart. So if I start to see downtrend in the lower time frames, I will look for the sell chance and follow the weekly downtrend. And the next one is Euro JPY on the monthly chart. In the monthly basis, this is also ranging. Or actually, all the Forex pairs are ranging on the monthly chart. So basically what I say is a monthly range. But we can also look at the market, whether the market is above the Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen, below the Kumo, and Chikou span situation, as well as the candlestick patterns, so that we can wait for the breakout on the monthly or weekly charts. But Euro JPY monthly chart is just ranging right now. The Kumo flat, Kumo is up, Senko span A is up, but Kijun Sen flat, and this is a bit retracing backwards now, so we don't see any strong trend on the monthly chart. So here is the weekly chart, and weekly is also at the support level of 128.01, and market itself is within the Kumo now. And the Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, so this is ranging. So there is a chance that the market will be supported at this 128.01 and goes up afterwards. So let's see if the market will be supported or not. If it breaks, then next week, Kumo breakout can happen on the weekly. So we might start to see long-term bearish trend. And the next one is Euro CAD. Euro CAD monthly chart, this is now turning bearish. The Kumo down, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen down, but Chikou span is still with the candle. So this is technically ranging as per Ichimoku. But if you look at the weekly chart, this is bearish. So I will mark this one Euro CAD also in the purple. And the Kumo down, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen bearish, and Chikou span below the candles. So last Friday, this pair was bought and the market went up. So that's why this is in the Y wave situation. But the market could be resisted by this Tenkan Sen and continuously be bearish next week. And plus, we had this dead cross of Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen below Kumo, which is also significant signal for this continuous downtrend. So that means if I start to see bearishness in the lower time frames next week, then I will look for the sell chance. But if it continues to be up, then the target will be on the Kijun Sen on the weekly chart. So next one is Euro Swiss franc. The Euro Swiss franc monthly chart is bearish. So let me mark this one also. You can see that the Kumo down and Senko span A down, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen both moving down, and Chikou span below the candles, and the market broke the support level of 1.0503. So this is a nicely bearish trend, so I will continue to look for the sell chance on Euro Swiss franc. And plus, if you look at the weekly chart, this is also bearish. The Kumo down, Senko span B is down, Senko span A is also down, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen both moving downwards, and Chikou span below the candles. And like I mentioned previously, the market broke the support level of 1.0508, so now this is continuously bearish. So the potential target in this case will be the previous low, so which will be, we have some supports here, and the highest level support is at 1.0313 level, so that will be the potential target. And I think this is still going down this way, but I think we have some nice pips potentially to trade. Oh, okay, background music is a bit too loud. Okay, let me turn it down a little bit. Okay, hold on. Is it better? Okay. Yeah, because I can't hear the background music, so if it's too loud, then please let me know. I can always just adjust the volumes like this. So yeah, coming back to this Euro-Swiss run, we can look for the sell chance next week. And moving on to USD based pairs. So USD JPY on the monthly basis, this is still range as per Ichimoku, because the Kumo's up, but Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen below the Senko span B. So this is range as per Ichimoku. And there was a resistance level, monthly resistance at 114.66, and last week was rejected by that, so we may see bearishness next week. And with that in mind, if you look at the weekly chart, weekly still shows that this is uptrending, but we see multiple resistances here around 114.69 to 115.46. So next week could be still bullish range, but we do still see a potential bearishness from here because of the monthly resistance. So just be careful for the rejection on that level. So to myself, I look for the buy chance if it goes up, bullish, if it breaks the resistance, but if that will be rejected, then I will switch my mindset to look for the sell chance. So yeah, USD JPY, let's continue to monitor next week and talk about it continuously on the lower time frames. So the next one is the Usc Cad. On the monthly chart, this is ranging. Kumo flat, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen flat, Chikou span is retracing back to candles, so this is ranging right now. So and in terms of candlesticks, I don't see any significance. I don't see any engulfings or dojis. So simply I follow the lower time frame directions. So if I look at the weekly chart, this one is also ranging. The market is exactly in the Kumo now, but it's about to break the Kumo. And once it does, the market turns to bullish. So Senko span B on the weekly is at around 1.2870. So let's wait for the breakout and also the resistance level on the weekly. And after the Kumo breakout, we can seriously look for the buy chance. But before the breakout happens, the market can be spiky. So in the lower time frame, it is moving up bullish, but it may turn bearish anytime soon. So just watch out with the risk management. And the next one is USD Swiss run. Monthly chart shows that this is ranging flat, the Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, Tenkan Sen moving up, and Chikou span is getting close to the candle, so this is ranging. It's in the P wave right now, and the market is about to break towards either direction. But in this case, we can't tell which way it breaks because this is ranging as per Ichimoku. So simply wait for the breakout on the P wave and follow that direction afterwards. And with that in mind, if I look at the weekly chart, now this is ranging also. Kumo's flat, and Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen both flat, and Chikou span is too close to the candles. But if you look at this price action, like I mentioned previously, this is in the P wave, but I can see this is potentially an ascending P wave because lows are getting higher and higher, once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times. But if you look at the highs are lower, but it's as compared to the lows, it's, as compared to this higher lows, the lower highs are still a bit weaker in its momentum. So in this chart pattern, I do see more buyers and sellers in the market. So I expect the market potentially breaks upwards, and it may happen next week. So in that sense, I look for the buy chance on USD Swiss franc. I do look at the lower time frames during the week and continuously look for the buy edge. So now let's move on to pound base pairs. All right, so thank you for joining, everyone. So this time, this is the end of the month. So I am screening the monthly and the weekly charts today. So let's move on to pound dollar, and this is the monthly chart. The market is within the Kumo now, and it's retracing backwards, and it looks like it's going back to the Kijun Sen on the monthly chart, which is 1.2838. And with that in mind, if you look at the weekly chart, it's now bearish, and it's about to break the Kumo bearish. So once it breaks, then we will continuously see bearish trend, most likely. So looking for the sell chance will be the right choice. In this case, you never look for the buy chance because this is bearish in the higher time frames. So the next one is pound JPY. Starting from the monthly chart, this is now flat Kijun Sen, but the market is uptrending but within the Kumo now, and that's why it's kind of spiky up and down. So, and in terms of candlestick, we have this engulfing structure, inside bar. So if the market breaks a Kumo, then inside will be broken upwards, and we might still start to see long-term bullish trend. But until it happens, this is ranging. So in last month, the month of November was bearish. The month of October was bullish, and this is very spiky up and down market on the monthly chart. So I would expect the market breaks upwards, and if the market breaks the resistance, the monthly resistance level of 158.24, then that will be a huge uptrend afterwards. And with that in mind, if you drop down to the weekly chart, this is now flat ranging also. The Kumo is flat, Senko span B is flat, Senko span A is slightly moving up, but the Kijun Sen flat and Chikou span touching. So this is range, and this is called Y wave. The highs are higher and the lows are lower, and this is lows are the same level and highs are higher. So this is sort of like ascending P wave, but this is, the buyers are coming, sellers are coming, and they are just fighting with each other. And I do see more buyers in this case, but once the market breaks the support level of around 148.79, then the market turned bearish. So last week was bearish, so I continue to look for the sell chance in the following week, but yeah, most likely I stay away. This is ranging on the weekly and monthly chart basis. So the next one is pound CAD. Pound CAD monthly chart. This is completely ranging. Price action says it's range, and Ichimoku lines are also ranging. Kumo flat, Kijun Sen up, Tenkan Sen down. This is range sign also, and Chikou span touching. So we don't have any clues which way it's going on the monthly chart. So now, if you look at the weekly chart, this is a bit bearish, but for the last 3 weeks has been bullish. So let's see which way it goes next week. The Kumo down, Kijun Sen flat, Chikou span touching. So this is ranging. So next week could be range. So let's move on to pound AUD on the monthly chart. For pound AUD says range also. All the lines are flat ranging, so not really significant moves in the monthly. The market is within the Kumo also, so better to stay away on the monthly basis. And on the weekly chart, for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks has been uptrending, but overall it's still ranging. Also, Kumo flat, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen flat, and Chikou span is still too close to the candles. So, although last week was bullish, I'm not sure about next week. It might be range or retrace backwards. So, we will see on the lower time frame. And the next one is Pound Swiss franc. Monthly says it's flat also. Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, Chikou span touching. But since this April, it has been bearish. And with that in mind, if you look at the weekly chart, this is about to break the Kumo. It broke the Kumo bearish actually on this kind of close. So we had this Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen, dead cross and Chikou span break, and Kumo breakout just happened. But since this is not the right order, the market may turn into the Kumo. Next week could be bullish. So if you want to look for the sell, then you better wait for the support line breakout of around 1.2286 and look for the selling edge afterwards. Yeah, to be safer, I want to wait for the support level breakout and sell next week. So now let's move on to AUD based pairs. So first one is AUD USD. And the monthly is flat right now. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat. This is with the Kumo now, so this is ranging. And on the weekly chart, this is now broke the Kumo. And the Senko span A is turning bearish. Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen bearish. And Chikou span below the candles. And the market is at the previous support level here at 0.7104. So better to wait for the breakout and look for the sell chance afterwards. In the lower time frames, this is bearish. So let's see if the market breaks the support level Monday or not. So I will just mark this one also since this is bearish. And the next one is AUD-CAD. And on the monthly chart, this is a range. Almost all the pairs are ranging on the monthly chart in the Forex pairs. On the major minor pairs, usually it's range on the monthly. But yeah, this one is also ranging. The market's retracing back to this Kijun Sen 0.9031. So that's one of the things for the target. And in terms of weekly chart, it's bearish. We have Kumo down, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen down, and Chikou span below the candles. So this is gradually going down and it's bearish. So we can continuously look for the sell chance next week. And the next one is AUD-JPY. On the monthly, it's flat ranging, and weekly time frame also says it's range. The market is within the Kumo now, so this is range. Simply, we better stay away. And the next one is AUD-Swiss franc. Monthly says it's range. Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, Chikou span touching, it's range. And on the weekly chart, this is also range as per Ichimoku. We do see Kumo down, Senko span A turning bearish, but the Kumo itself is too flat and this is too tiny to be trustable. So, and also I think Kijun Sen is flat. Tenkan Sen bearish, but Kijun Sen flat, so the market could go bullish next week. But as long as it's bearish, we can trail, continue to look for the sell, especially when the market breaks a support level 0.6514, then that will be a great sell chance. So yeah, in the lower time frame, it's also bearish. So we can continuously look for the sell chance next week. So the next one is CAD-JPY on the monthly chart. This is flat also. It's bearish engulfing inside bar. And weekly shows that it has been bearish since 18th of October. And the market reached back to the Kijun Sen. So from here, it may bounce on the Kijun Sen and goes up. So we do see bearish trend in the lower time frames, but we will see if it turns bullish next week, because we see Kumo's up, Senko span B's up, and Senko span A's up. So that means this is bullish in the long term. So the market could turn to bullishness next week. So the next one is CAD Swiss franc. This is ranging the Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat range. And on the weekly chart, this is also ranging flat. Flat Kumo, flat Kijun Sen. And the market is within the Kumo now. So we saw that last week was bearish due to the news, but it may be supported at some point and revert backwards. So yeah, just watch out for the sudden bullish trend on this one, CAD Swiss franc. And the last one is Swiss franc JPY. The monthly chart, this is now bullish. So I will mark this one also. The Kumo up, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen up, and Chikou span above the candles. So this is now completely bullish. And the weekly chart also shows that this is bullish right now. The Kumo's up, Kijun Sen is flat, Tenkan Sen is up, and Chikou span above the candle still. It is very close to the candle, so it may retrace back to the Kijun Sen, but there is a potentially support by the Kijun Sen and goes up afterwards. So I still see that there is a potential bullishness. So if I start to see uptrend next week, then I will continue to look for the buy chance. So these are the analysis for all the Forex pairs on the monthly and the weekly time frame. So now let's move on to the gold first, commodity and gold. All right, so by the way, thank you for joining everyone once again. If you liked it so far, please press the like button before you leave. That would be great so that it keeps me going. Okay, so let's look at the gold and see what's happening. So gold on the monthly chart, this is completely flat in range. Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, and this is in the P wave. So it's squeezing P wave, so the market's losing its volatility and it's going squeezing. So I think in long term it should break upwards this way. But the thing is, we're not sure when it breaks. It may, before it breaks, it may test this support level and goes up and down. So we better wait for the breakout on the P wave on the monthly chart if you wish to hold it for a long time. And with that in mind, if I look at the weekly chart, this is also flat in range. You can clearly see that this is in the P wave also, and the market is in the range. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat. Last week was bearish, but we are not sure which way it's going in the short term. So we better stay away. Or simply, if I start to see bullish trend in the daily time frame next week, then I will look for the buy chance. Otherwise, I will stay away. And the next one is WTI crude oil, and this is the monthly chart. So monthly chart is now having flat Kumo Kijun Sen, and we have this long bearish candle. So this is still up in above the Tenkan Sen, so it's bullish. But now we have this Tenkan Sen breakout, so it may retrace all the way back to Kijun Sen. Technically speaking, this is the chart pattern. And also, let's see, on the weekly chart, it broke the Kijun Sen. And this is very significant. It may break the Kumo also in this case, because the Kumo flat and Senko span A is retracing backwards, and Kijun Sen flat, Tenkan Sen retrace backwards too. So once we start to see Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen dead cross and Chikou span breakout, and then Kumo breakout can happen sometime next month. I mean the month of December or sometime next year. So this is, if you are trading and if you wish to buy, this is not a good timing because we're not sure how far the market will retrace. Okay, so now let's move on to the index. So starting from the Nikkei Index, so this is still flat in range. The Kumo flat, Kijun-sen flat, and Tenkan-sen also flat. You see there are many wicks in these candles, many dojis, and it shows that this is a very tricky market. So we better stay away. And weekly chart also is range. It's just going up and down, and this is also P wave. So yeah, simply we're not sure which way it's going. Okay, and here is Dow Jones. And Dow Jones monthly chart is still bullish because it broke the previous high in the month of November on the 35,910, and still it's bullish. The Kumo's up, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen up, and Chikou span above the candles, so it's bullish. But on the weekly chart and lower time frames are now either flat range or bearish. In the weekly it's bearish, and it's actually reached back to the Kijun-sen now. So the topic is about this whether the market breaks a Kijun-sen or not next week. If it does, then the market could retrace back to Kumo. But if it closes above the Kijun-sen next week, then it could turn bullish like this way, like we saw earlier here in the month of September or October. So yeah, we will see which way it goes, and we have to closely monitor on the weekly Kijun-sen for Dow Jones. And the next one is yeah, the Nasdaq Us 100. And as you can see here, the Kumo's up, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen up, and Chikou span above the candle. So this is bullish in terms of the Ichimoku, but we have this pin bar. So we have to wait for the candle close, which happens in about 2 days. And if it closes like pin bar, then next month, in the month of December, could retrace back to the Tenkan-sen. And with that in mind, if you look at the weekly chart, this is still bullish. So the Kumo's up, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen up, and Chikou span above. So this is bullish. So Friday was huge crash on all the indices, but we still see the potential uptrend. But since we have this outside bar, it may retrace back to the Tenkan-sen next week. So yeah, we have to monitor, and this is not a good time to buy in this case. Right, next one is S&P 500, and this is bullish also. This is bullish in the monthly chart, but just like Nasdaq, we also see there's a pin bar. So it may turn bearish, and it may reach back to the monthly Tenkan-sen. And if you look at the monthly chart, we also see that there was an outside bar. So last week was bearish, and it engulfs the previous 1 to 3 bars. So next week, if the market breaks the support level of this the previous candle, which was 4580.4 level, then it may retrace back to Tenkan-sen or Kijun-sen. So since there's a potential fail, next week we have to stay away, is my opinion. Alright, and the next one is Euro stocks. Euro stocks monthly chart still shows that this is bullish, but now it's a bit ranging as per candlesticks, and it actually touched this Tenkan-sen last week. So but in this case, it may bounce on the Tenkan-sen and goes up, and we might see bullish trend on the month of December. And with that in mind, if you look at the weekly chart, it broke the Kijun-sen. This is significant for the Euro stocks because previously the market touched the Kijun-sen, but it was supported and the market pushed back this way. But this time, it clearly broke the Kijun-sen, and Kumo flat, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen flat, and also Chikou span touches, so this is range. And in this case, the market could retrace back to the Kumo. So yeah, once again, this is not a good timing to buy. I mean, it may be supported at this trend line, like this way. Sorry about my poor handwriting, but it may be supported by the trend line and goes up, but there is a potential retracement back to the Kumo. And the chance is 50-50 for Ichimoku. So in this case, simply we better stay away. Okay, the next one is FTSE 100, and in the monthly chart, this is still ranging. Kumo's up, a Kijun Sen flat, market within the Kumo, Chikou span touching. So monthly chart says that this is a range. And weekly chart is, last week was bearish, and it also broke the Kijun Sen, just like Euro stocks. So it could retrace back to Kumo, and this is not a good time to buy yet. Right, and the next one is CAC France. Monthly chart shows that this is bullish, but just like in US markets, we had this long wick pointing upwards, and this is bearish candle, so it may retrace back to the Tenkan Sen on monthly. And then on the weekly chart, this is now still bullish. So because the market is still above the Kijun Sen and the Kumo's up, Kijun Sen flat but the Tenkan Sen up and Chikou span above the candles. So the topic for next week is whether the market breaks the Kijun Sen or not. Once it breaks the Kijun Sen next week, then it may continuously retrace back to Kumo, and then we better stay away. Okay, and the next one is DAX Index. DAX on the monthly is bullish, Kumo's up, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen up, and the market retraced back to Tenkan Sen, and it may bounce and still goes up this way. So in the month of December, that could be bullish. And if I drop down to the weekly chart, it broke also the Kijun Sen, and we do see the huge bearish trend. But since the market is still above the Kumo, it may be supported by this Senkou span A and continuously goes up this way. But once the market really goes into the Kumo, then we better stay away. We can't trade if it happens. And since this is in Y-wave structure, the market is very tricky. So it may retrace backwards continuously and bounce and goes up, and it might be spiky for a while. So unless the market breaks the resistance of 16,294.7, unless the market breaks that level, we better stay away, be my advice. Okay, the next one is Nifty chart. So here is Nifty on the monthly chart. The monthly shows that this is still bullish. The Kumo's up, Kijun Sen flat, but the Tenkan Sen is up and Chikou span above the candles. But since we have this Kijun Sen flatness, the market could retrace back to Tenkan Sen. So and so with that in mind, if you look at the weekly time frame, the market retraced back to the Kijun Sen. But we still see that there is a potential bounce on the Kijun Sen, and it goes up because the Kumo's up still and the Kijun Sen is up and Chikou span above the candles. But if the market breaks the Kijun Sen, then it may retrace back to Kumo. So whether the market breaks the Kijun Sen or not on the weekly time frame is a topic for the Nifty Index. And this is not a good time to buy. We have to confirm the bounce and then buy afterwards. And the next one is AU200, and this is the monthly chart. Monthly chart AU200 is now still flat ranging. The Kumo is Senkou span A is up, Kijun Sen flat, Tenkan Sen is up, but this is now ranging, a bit retracing backwards. So I don't see any sign of potential bullishness yet. But if you look at the weekly chart, it broke this Kijun Sen, and we might see continuously bearish back to the Kumo. So yeah, unless the market bounces and goes up this way, we better stay away. All right, so that covers the whole indices, and let me continue to talk about the news for next week and then come back your comments. So please bear with me for the next about 5 minutes until I cover the news. Okay, so hold on, let me see. Let me turn to which just this window so that you can see the whole news, including these times. So let me switch to next week. Looks like this is a bit freezing. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so next week starts from the 29th and it goes to December. December the 3rd. So I click apply and I got this news. So next Monday, 29th, we have BOJ Governor Kuroda speech. So JPY pairs can be affected by this news on Monday. And also we have a CPI report in Germany. So Euro pairs can be affected on Monday. And moving on to Tuesday, the 30th November, we have Governor Macron's speech in Canada. So CAD pairs, you have to be careful. And also Fed speech, parallel speech in the US. So UC pairs can be affected by this. And also we have news here, CPI report in Euro itself. So Euro pairs, be careful on Tuesday. And then GDP in Canada. And also USD in the US, there is a parallel speech, in the Fed chair parallel speech. So you have to be careful on the USD pairs. And Wednesday, December 1st, we have GDP report in Australia. So AUD can be affected by this. And then retail sales in Germany. So real pairs, be careful. And we have ADP employment rate in the US. So USD pair. And also another Governor Bailey speech in UK. So pound pairs can be affected on Wednesday. And then ISM manufacturing PMI in the US. And Thursday we have one trade balance report in Australia. And also in Friday, we have a retail sales in the Euro, and then non-farm payrolls in the US, which is the biggest event for next week. So next Friday, have to be careful for NFP. And then also we have unemployment rate in Canada, so CAD, be careful. And also towards the end of Friday, we have ISM services PMI in the US. So since this is the first week of the month, next week we have to be careful for these big events. So make sure to watch news and make sure to to check news before you take trades. If there's a big news, then stay away and come back after the news. Is my advice. All right, so yeah, so that covers the whole topics for today. So for the next 10 minutes or so, let's have some free talk all together. Right, so once again, thank you for joining. If you liked it so far, please press the like button, and I hope you're having a great weekend, great Sunday today. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Let me cover some other comments now. Oh, this is the fxstreet.com website. No, let me show the window. This is fxstreet.com, and Economic Calendar is a website that I'm using right now. Okay, let's see. KOM says, thanks Mr. K, I used Ichimoku to swing trade and finally passed FTMO fund account. Oh, congratulations. It's a nice announcement, nice update. Yeah, glad to hear that. So yeah, please be consistent on what you do. yeah, Ichimoku is powerful in the long term, especially on daily or higher time frames. It becomes so powerful. So yeah, as a day to swing trader, I think Ichimoku is a very good tool. And I don't recommend Ichimoku to use for scalping because Ichimoku signals a bit lagging. So it captures nicely the momentum direction of the market. But for scalping, I would still recommend to do it on the lower time frames and candlesticks and price actions and other indicators. But yes, good to see you. Yeah, I have covered Nifty already. It's bouncing on the Kijun Sen on the weekly. All right, good to see you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Albert says NZD USD review. All right, let's see. Let me turn to NZD USD. So I will switch to Forex. But personally, I don't trade NZD pairs because the spreads are higher usually, and it's spiky in lower time frames. So here is NZD USD, and this is the monthly chart. So in the monthly chart, it says flat Kijun, and the market is gradually going bearish in candlesticks. And on the weekly chart, this is now turning bearish. The market just broke the Kumo bearish. So in this case, I would wait for the breakout of the support level, which is 0.68. No, I have multiple lines. I would wait for the breakout of the 0.6805 and take sell afterwards. Because there was a Kumo breakout and there is a potential support level breakout. All right, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, Martin says, I got a nice pip last Friday from the US 30. Okay. You were going short? Yeah, Dow Jones went bearish so heavily. So this is a bit, it's a bit like a falling knife. If you wish to buy, then this is not a good timing yet. Okay, by the way, the title is wrong. Maybe it should be forecast 29 to 3rd December, not November. Oh, really? Okay, let me double check. Sorry about the typo. Oh yeah, it says November. Oh. Okay, now I change to December and save. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I think I was using the previous template and it was kept November. So thanks for that. Right, so yeah, NZD USD is still bearish and you better wait for the support level breakout is my view. Okay, John here says, I've been watching your moving average series. Do you still utilize MA? And also, could you emphasize on that trading edge? I don't use moving average anymore. I used to use it, but not anymore. I prefer Ichimoku. So I only use Ichimoku for now. But yes, I did record some my moving average lectures previously. So you can use multiple moving averages and capture market conditions. Yeah, I was using moving average, 3 moving averages in multiple time frames, and it worked very well to capture market direction. But I prefer Ichimoku because Ichimoku has more information and it's got like a more, I can capture the momentum much nicer than moving averages. So yeah, that's why. All right, Algirdo, thank you for joining. He says, can you show your theme settings like wicks and other things? I'm not sure what you mean by setting like wicks and other things. But if you're asking which platform you're using, this is TradingView. And yeah, this is how I see charts. I use Ichimoku only in higher time frames and look for an entry chance in the lower time. All right, let's see. Radot says, can you give your opinion about NZD Swiss franc, please? All right, so NZD Swiss franc, let me check. I will add. Okay, so monthly chart, it's ranging still. The market is within the Kijun Sen and Kumo. And the weekly chart shows that this is now bearish. It was a huge downtrend, but and it broke the Kumo, which was significant. So the market is now turning bearish. But just like NZD USD, I would prefer to wait for the breakout to support 0.6236 and sell afterwards. All right, let's see. Luis says, don't you trade cryptocurrencies? No, I don't. I never traded cryptocurrencies. So I only trade Forex pairs. And I don't give any advice or signals on the cryptocurrencies. All right, thank you for joining, everyone. Great to see you here. All right, let's see. Jalaj says, could you please show your stochastics input window on TradingView? Yeah, stochastics, I use 30-10-10. So here is my stochastics in setting is input percent K30, percent D10, and slowing 10 is my setting. Oh, I see lots of heart marks. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's nice to see these heart marks, heart emojis in the chat. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Diane and Karim, you're welcome. All right, let's see. Yeah, when you don't see any trends in the higher time frames, then you can take 1 hour direction by Ichimoku and take trades. Yeah, that is possible. Newbie, you're welcome. Thanks for the comments. Push says, what Forex pairs would you recommend to capture trends for beginners? Definitely the major pairs. You never want to go for minor or exotic pairs. Major pairs, major ones are the ones that you have to go for. Right? Oh, Gabby, thank you for pressing the like button. Thank you for that. Kusuma says, hi Kei, I'm a beginner trader and I want to learn Ichimoku, so please let me know which one video or something I learned first. So please come to my website. You can come to my website and scroll down and you can find Ichimoku basic lectures. So these are the videos that you would like to see first. And also, if you haven't watched the part 1 to 5 series, then you can scroll all the way down and you can have these videos, part 1 to 5 Ichimoku video series. So please watch these videos first and get the basics, and then watch some Ichimoku videos on the archive. And if you wish to study deeply more, then you're always welcome to join my Ichimoku community. So it takes time to really master Ichimoku. It took me 8 years, and still I'm learning from the markets. And this learning journey never ends for myself. So I keep learning by reading the books, original books over and over again. I have read the original books at least 20 times or more. And by every time I read, I still get this new information, new inspiration. So this is how deep the Ichimoku is. So yeah, And I am thinking to create parts 6 to 10 series on this Ichimoku basic lectures in this YouTube. So yeah, hope to be able to record these videos soon. All right, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Verdi says, please analyze pound INR. All right, so let me check. So GBP INR. That's an Indian rupee, right? Okay. So let's see. The weekly chart is now in the Kumo, and monthly is still flat Kumo, flat Kijun Sen. So in my eyes, this is bearish. So once the market breaks the Kumo, breaks the Senko span B level, which is 896, then the market can drop all the way down to the monthly Kijun Sen, which is here around 95.534. So that will be the potential scenario when it happens. All right, Jalaj says, my trading view is showing person K length, person K smoothing, and person D smoothing. I have posted picture on general chat room on Discord. Please one check. Oh, I think you're using the wrong stochastics, I think. My stochastics here is the default one. I think I'm using the default stochastics. So hold on, let me see. Yeah, let me see if I can find the details about this stochastics. So yeah, in this stochastics I only see input and indicator time frame and person K, person D smoothing, and for the style I have these settings like this. So if you're seeing something different, then most likely you are using the different stochastics. So, and I'm using the default stochastics on the trading view. All right, and it says, can I just use daily 1 hour 15, or do you advise me to include the forward chart in 5-minute time frames? You can include the forward chart in 5 also, yes, in Forex Pairs. But yeah, Jalaj, I will check the Discord after this session ends and reply on the Discord. Yeah, Archback, you're welcome. SK says, good afternoon, please, which pairs do you trade? So I monitor these pairs, the pairs on my watch list up to Swiss franc JPY. I watch these 21 pairs and take trades. And I only pick the ones that are trending in higher time frames during the week and take trades. All right, on my way, and Louis and Vipin, you're welcome. Newbie says, your Ichimoku and candle cutter settings, please. It looks cool. Oh, the cutter settings of the candles. Yeah, I don't like the white. I don't like the red and green because, you know, it gets biased. Like green means to go and red means to stop psychologically and consciously, and yellow is like warning. So in candlesticks, I don't prefer to use these colors, and that's why I simply use blue and white. But blue and white still, these are for the live stream purposes. If I only see charts myself, I prefer all white candles. But if I just show you the setting of the candles, this is my color setting. So yeah, I'll only turn the blue on the body, bullish body, but bearish bodies, but other ones are all white. In background, it's black. It's easy on my eyes. All right, good to see you. All right, yeah, Dinla says, hi Kate, how do you confirm if it bounces on the Kijun Sen or not? You have to wait for the candle close. When you wait for the candle close, then you know if it bounces or not. Okay, so looks like it's been over 1 hour now, so I will end the session. But yeah, once again, thank you for joining today, and it was very nice seeing you, everyone. So, but once again, we have many big news next week. So always, before you take trades, make sure to see if there's a big news. If there isn't, then simply look for the trading edges and buy or sell. But if there's a big news, then always come back after the news so that you don't lose these big news. Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining, and if you liked it so far, please press the like button, and please subscribe and click the bell button, notification, so that you get notified as I do these live streams of video sessions almost every day on my YouTube channel. So I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay gold. Bye bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you.